Hello everyone, my name is Courtney and I am a makeup artist, and I am here today partnered with the Epilepsy Foundation to help create awareness and shine a light on epilepsy in Australia. We are removing some of the shame and stigma associated with epilepsy, and we are showing our support by wearing purple and championing the color purple. As you can see, I am wearing a Purple Halo Eye today, and I will be showing you in a moment how to create this for yourselves on your own eyes. But first of all, let's just talk a little bit about epilepsy. So it is something that is quite prevalent in Australia that no one wants to talk about. 1 in 10 Australians experience seizures, and 1 in 25 Australians will be diagnosed with epilepsy during their lifetime. So this is something that Epilepsy Foundation is really aiming to ensure that no one with epilepsy goes alone, that we feel comfortable to talk about this and really drive that awareness and make sure that everyone feels safe and supported and able to thrive within Australia. So let's work together, let's show our support, let's wear purple. I would love to see whatever purple makeup looks you create. I would love to see you wear a purple smoky eye. Let's get into it and break it down, and I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so first things first, we want to ensure that all of our hard work stays where we put it and doesn't migrate throughout the day. So what you're going to do is take a little bit of eye primer just on your fingertip and pat it all over the eyelid, just a thin layer, and we want it to go all the way from the lash line to the brow. And this will prevent any patchiness and really ensure that your eyeshadow is going to stay where you want it to stay. The color is going to remain vibrant and true. Don't forget to pop a little bit underneath if you find that things tend to move and shift throughout the day. A little bit underneath. It's just a nice thin little layer, and that's going to create a really beautiful foundation for everything to stick to. Next, I want you to think of the eye as being broken up into thirds. So your iris, that's the colored bit of your eye, think of that as the middle third, and then where the white of the eye is, those are the 2 outer thirds. So for the purposes of creating your perfect halo eye, what you're going to do is grab some sort of delicious purple gel eyeliner, in whatever shade takes your fancy, but a lovely purple. And what you're going to do is you're going to focus this on the inner and the outer third of the eye, and we're just going to follow where our eyeball is, so like taking it up to the edge when you look straight ahead. So we want it to sort of just make its way up to the very edge of the eye, but nothing too far beyond that. So if I just, and this particular point in the eye makeup, it's not supposed to be pretty just yet. So don't stress too much about making it perfect. We just want to make sure that our edges are a little bit soft and fluffy, and then that means that our eyeshadow is going to have an easier time going on. So as you can see, we just kind of plonk it on there really. And you can see we just take a little brush. Choose a brush that fits your eye. That is top tip number 1. I don't have a lot of real estate here, so little brushes work best for me. If you've got more real estate, use a bigger brush. I envy you. And what we're going to do, just sort of little circles or little rainbow shapes to really sort of buff that out. And you can see there's a little bit of depth here, there's a little bit of depth here, but it's not peeking out all the way to the brow. Now we also get to do the same thing on the lower lash line, on the inner third and the outer third. What I want you to imagine is if we were almost flattening out that lower lash line, so you can see it's quite curved, and so if I make my line a little bit fatter here, it will almost flatten out that bottom line, and that's what we're going for. So if I just plonk a little bit here, again, don't be precious, just sort of whack it on. Makeup is it's a practiced skill, right? So if the first time you do a halo eye on yourself, if you're not madly in love with it, that's okay. If time permitting, wipe it off, try again. That's the best bit about makeup, it comes off. So you can see, plonk it on, and can we see how that's already made one eye look slightly larger? You can pop a little bit on the inner. Try and get as close to the lash line as you possibly can. Again, I don't have a lot of real estate, so if I just do this to my brush, I can get right up in there, without going too crazy. If you need to do a couple of passes of it, you can. There we go. So if we do the same thing to the other eye, plonk it on that outer third. Don't be precious, just sort of really quick. You need to work rather quickly with a gel liner. You have like a little window of smudging time, and then it sets and it's locked in. So, and make sure that you do follow your own eye shape. So take it to the edge of your eye and what your eye wants to do. And then that way it will be the most flattering shape for you. Plonk that on there. Give it a bit of a smudgy swirl with your brush, soften off any edges. Beautiful. You kind of want the same depth on both sides just to make your life a little bit easier, so I have to plonk a little bit more on there and a little bit more on there. Beautiful. Wonderful. And we'll pop a little bit on that lower lash line. Remember, you're almost trying to flatten it out so we can. The number of times that I accidentally stab myself in the eye with a brush. But you need to be able to see that it can be done on your own. But again, practice. Practice makes perfect. Every eye look goes through like an awkward puberty phase. So trust the process, stick with it, please. Alright, there we go. So we've got a little bit of a halo situation starting. And you can see that we've got that negative space over the coloured portion of the eye, so over the iris. So that's it for our gel liner. Now we get to start with our shadows. So again, choose a brush that fits your eye shape. I'm going to be using something small and fluffy because soft fluffy brushes give soft fluffy edges. So something small and fluffy, and I'm going to just be taking a really neutral shade, nothing fancy just yet, but a really neutral shade, and just buffing it under the brow there. I want this color to be matte, and all this one is going to do is just, it's almost like a fail-safe mechanism for you to ensure that when you are blending out your shadow, you've got something that's already your skin tone to really help diffuse those edges. So that one's on there. Give it a bit of a wipe off, and now we're going to go in with like a mid-tone nudie taupey sort of shade. Same brush, and this one is just gonna go along the edge of the eyeball, so it's like a little rainbow. And you won't need to press hard, might I say. It's just this lovely little rainbow shape, so that when you're looking forward, there's this little bit of extra kind of definition and softness. And it just gives that shape, and it starts to really open up and define the eye. Can we see that? Beautiful. So again, that lovely nude taupe shade. Just windscreen wiper back and forth. And that will give everything something to sort of fade and blend off into. Beautiful. Now I want to go in with some sort of flat brush that will put color on for us. And now we get into the purple. So I'm going to take a beautiful deep purple shade, just a powder eyeshadow, and this we get to gently pat over the top of our purple gel liner that we popped on just before. So by patting it on like this over the top of the gel liner and the eye primer are going to act as this lovely grippy medium, so that when we just pat our shadow on, we are really minimizing that risk of getting any fallout. Pat, 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 pat. And you can see it really just amps up that color beautifully. And again, choose a brush size that will fit the real estate that you've got. Not much real estate, small brush. Now I can take just the very, very tip of that brush, because again, not all the real estate. We're just gonna pat that on those lower portions. Magical. So you can really see it starting to transform the eye. Now you can go back in with your brush that you had just before. You shouldn't need to get any more product on there, but you can just do like a quick little zhuzh over the edges to make sure that they are nice and soft and blended, and everything will look like you tried really, really hard and took a lot of time to do, but no one needs to know that it didn't actually require a whole heap of time. Cool. Great, so everything's looking all blended and everything's looking all delicious and fancy. Now we get to go in with a light, I like to go something a little bit shimmery, a little bit reflective, a little bit fun shadow, and so we're going to be using this one, and one of the best brushes you will ever own is actually your fingers. So if you pat that over the center, it means that you'll get like a lovely soft diffusion between the light and the dark. So get that just on your fingertip. Really pat that one. There's an aeroplane. Don't forget underneath. A little bit of a gentle pat. Sorry, that face that everyone pulls when you're doing stuff underneath the eye, I just couldn't help myself. I really did try and avoid it. Can't be helped. There we go. Alright, we're looking fun. We're looking fabulous. We are showing our support. Excellent. If you want to get even more fun and fancy, you can pop something even more shiny over the top there, or you can, why not, because we're here, because we can, just do a little bit of something fun and reflective just in the corner there. When in doubt, run your finger over it and that'll soften it off. Fabulous! You can pop some eyeliner on if you want to. I don't have a whole lot of space, so that's kind of a waste. It means that we won't see anything. If you need to tidy up your edges, again, grab a nice little soft fluffy brush and just run that around the edges there, just to make sure that everything is where you need it. Check your balance. Pop on some mascara. Oh, this will be fun to do on camera, won't it? Give a little wiggle at the base and then pull through, helps to separate. Put as many coats of mascara on as makes your heart happy. Top and bottom, whatever works. And there you have it, your very own Purple Halo Smoky Eye. Thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to see all of your fantastic purple makeup looks in support of Purple Day for the Epilepsy Foundation. Rock it, show your support, and let's see all of those purple makeup looks. Thanks so much. Bye.